Conflict Transformation by J. Tabelis Rivas. Table of Contents. Unit 1, Communication and Conflict. Unit 2, Community and Conflict. Unit 3, Cultural, Gender, and Religious Conflict. Unit 4, Mediation, Negotiation, and Conflict Resolution. And Unit 5, Conflict Transformation. Introduction. Before I had begun this semester, my thoughts towards conflict transformation were quite obscure, seeming as I had rarely given the concept any importance or the slightest bit of attention. Conflict transformation would have simply been as dull as transforming any given topic, in my opinion, which, in a way, has its accuracy, but there's so much more to say about it, so much more knowledge that gives it its true importance. Then again, what kind of answer would you expect from an individual who is not well educated on such a topic? This is, of course, until you ask an educated and experienced individual that makes it that much more intriguing. How to resolve a conflict utilizing communication and the peace and justice principles. Create a hospitable and accountable community. Listen deeply. Create an advice-free zone. Practice asking honest and open questions. Give space for unpopular answers. Respect silence. Suspend judgment, and etc. Unit 1, Communication and Conflict. Terms to keep in mind. Communication could be described in the impairing and or exchange of information or news. It can also be seen as the connection amongst people and or places. Conflict, a serious disagreement or argument. Unit 1, Continuation. Unit 1 has taught me a lot about what it means to turn inward when being confronted by any given conflict. It has influenced me to believe that in order to move forward, it is first most important to communicate as well as have a clear and proper understanding of what the conflict in hand is and what is there to do to make sure there's a resolution to the problem. Considering that communication plays a major role in resolving a conflict, it is also important to analyze and assure that the way you communicate with others can lead to the resolution you are aiming for. Another way to sustain the conflict would be by self-reflection. It can help better the predicament simply because you are able to take into consideration all probabilities that are encountered with the given conflict. Self-evaluation allows you to see from all perspectives instead of just your own. Unit 2, Community and Conflict. Community, a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. As an overall concept, a community is the people and the places you surround yourself with on a daily basis. Conflict alone is a major factor when it comes to a community because it can cause a very negative atmosphere. Being a part of a community means that there is something that unites two or more parties due to a common interest. Having one or more individuals in the community in conflict will not only tend to rub off on others, but also portrays negative attitudes towards individuals who are not even involved. No matter what the community it is that might be involved, at the end of the day, any conflict that may occur, it will begin to drain the community mentally and physically, which will only result in corruption of everyday activities. Unit 3, Cultural, Gender, and Religious Conflict. Cultural is a way of life of a group of people, their behaviors, beliefs, values, etc. Gender, state of being, male or female. Religion, cultural system, of behaviors and practices, worldviews, and etc. Unit 3, continuation. In this unit, I came to understand that gender, culture, and religion are all factors which come face to face with conflict on an everyday basis. Gender, cultural, and religious conflicts are intertwined in our everyday lives, which only makes it that much more difficult to live in a peaceful state of mind, as well as a peaceful and fair environment. Unit 4, mediation, negotiation, and conflict resolution. Mediation, intervention in a dispute in order to resolve it. Negotiation, discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. Conflict resolution, a way two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement amongst them. It takes a leader to know how to mediate any conflict, given the fact that you never know what you would or could encounter. And a negotiator that can find the happy median, coming to an agreement and resolution, is what we all strive to have for or look for in a leader. Unit 4, continuation. Although it does take a lot to lead, it is very astonishing how in the end result, one person's worldview is what can truly make a difference. One individual can facilitate social change alone by being a good mediator, negotiator, as well as a great asset to resolving conflicts. Along with these three factors, an individual could develop their involvement in making sure they always receive the best possible outcome. It is about knowing the difference. Equality equals sameness, giving everyone the same thing no matter their individualism, while equity means fairness, access to the same opportunities, equity before equality. Unit 5, conflict transformation. Conflict transformation is the process by which conflicts are transformed into peaceful outcomes. Compassion, sympathy for the suffering or misfortunes of others. Conflict transformation is about seeing the peaceful outcome. In many instances, although it may not be a win-win situation, compassion is what leads to the sympathy, which further leads to forgiving or moving on. Viewing the different standpoints and perspectives, other standpoint, focusing on the many different viewpoints that came with conflict transformation, such as the ones I am very, very familiar with, like forgiveness, defining justice, and sexual abuse. Those are just few of the different topics that can be used when focusing on the conflicts that take place on an everyday basis. Final thoughts. After taking this course, I am proud to acknowledge I am no longer the uneducated woman I once was before having learned so much. I come to the conclusion that as long as there is conflict, then there is a resolution and a way to come to a peaceful and mutual understanding. In the end, when it comes to the conflict, it is about realizing that at the end of it all, what we should truly be seeking is not equality, but instead fairness and justice. The end.